What's going on, YouTube? We're working on the DUALLY today. I have several upgrades that I want to start working on, and I figured I'd show y'all some of them. I haven't really posted too much about this truck. I think I only did like maybe one video of it several years ago. But it's just a few little things that I want to work on. Well, y'all see how dirty it is in here. I usually use this after I've killed a deer and I'm going to like pick it up, or if I'm going to pick up something from Lowe's, Home Depot, something like that. When I'm working on stuff, I usually use this truck. But I decided I was gonna do some little upgrades to it. And one of the first things I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a system in here. So I have a new head unit that we're gonna install. One that works with the phone, all that kind of stuff. I think it works with whatever Apple's thing is. I don't know if it's CarPlay or whatever it is, but we're gonna install that and I show y'all when I get it all together. So one of the first things we're gonna work on is the system. And I have two shallow mount 12s. They're gonna mount behind this seat. So in a second, I'll walk back there and pull that seat back just so you can see what I'm talking about. But another thing I want to work on is this piece right here. It's broke. I think these break on most of these older F350s, and I have a piece to replace this. So that's gonna end up getting replaced. We're gonna have a new head unit. Also, I'm gonna take this dash out. I'm gonna keep this dash in here, but I'm gonna take it out, and I think I'm gonna put some LEDs like behind it just to backlight it and make it look better. Because now when it's nighttime, some of the bulbs that are in here, they're like blown. So when it's night, like this half of the dash, you can't even see anything. So I think I'm gonna end up putting LEDs all in the back of this dash just to backlight it a little better. And let me see what else we got. The head unit that I'm gonna install, I'm gonna have a backup camera with it as well. And I actually have another tailgate. So I mean, like, this video is probably gonna be way longer than it needs to be. I got so many things I'm trying to work on. But I'm gonna end up putting a new tailgate on here, backup camera, new head unit. We're gonna fix this, and we're gonna put a system in here. I just think it'll make it even funner to drive this truck. Like, I love driving this truck already, man. It's an old F350, 2001, but I feel like a boss when I'm driving this truck, man. Just how it sits up when I'm riding around, it make me feel like a boss. So anyway, let me see, I'm gonna pull this up real quick. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. Yeah, so we're gonna have two 12s mounted back here, shallow mount Pioneer 12s. I'll once I get this seat out, I'll show y'all how it's looking. But it's gonna be two 12-inch shallow mount 12s back here. And I have 2 amps. 1 amp is gonna control the subs, and another amp is gonna control the 4 speakers. 2 of them are in the doors, so it's a speaker there, you know, speaker there. And then let me pull the seat back one more time. The other 2 speakers are right here, and one's like right there. If y'all can see that. So we're gonna have 1 amp that controls those 4 speakers, and we're gonna have an amp to control the 2 12s. It's gonna go back here. And I'm gonna end up mounting my 2 amps like under the seat. I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm gonna have an amp like mounted right up under this seat right here, and then one on that side too under the seat. And I mean, it is dirty in here, man. I use this when I'm working on stuff, so I got all kind of stuff in here. But I don't know, I just decided I was gonna do some upgrades to it. At some point, I don't know, I may put wheels on it. I think that would be dope. Lift it up a little more, put some wheels on it. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I'll show y'all the tailgate I got to go on here. This is the new tailgate. Got a new back bumper too. We end up putting all of that on here at some point. New back bumper, new tailgate. And my backup camera is gonna mount right there. I already have that as well. I've been like collecting pieces for this truck for years, but just never started really working on it like that. Y'all can see this is the old tailgate. It's the old tailgate that came on this truck. So we're gonna end up replacing that one, putting the backup camera on it, and installing the system. And then I have a couple of other upgrades that I'll focus on later. But let's get started. Probably gonna take the back seat out and see what we're working with. And I'll show y'all the parts that I have for the system. All right, so the first step that I'm gonna try to work on is getting this seat out. And man, it took me about 40 minutes to find the tools to get the seat out. You need this little star tool right here for this bolt that's on the front. It's a T55. Man, it took me about 40 minutes to find one of these. And then the other tool, they got like a nut back here. It's a, what size is it? I think it's about 18 millimeter, something like that. Yeah. So I was looking up under the seat and I thought this was funny. I'm pretty sure the previous owner left this in here. Some long-lasting Scott toilet paper, y'all. Could have used that in 2020. Could have definitely used that in 2020 when it was going crazy out here in the streets. But let me get this bolt loose up under here, and then I'm gonna take the one right here out too, and we're gonna pull the seat out. Which this is easy to do. It's just finding the right pieces to do it. That was the hard part. Man, I went in the back, man. It broke loose already. So now the seat is out of here. I'm gonna vacuum all of this dirt and crap up in just a minute. But y'all see, this is the old jack. We're gonna take it out. We're gonna take this little box right here out as well. Got a little roadside kit in here. Have to find somewhere else to put it. We're gonna take that out and then start looking at exactly where I'm gonna mount my amps and where that sub box is gonna go. Just sitting here to test fit it. So I was about to go grab a vacuum and start vacuuming up some of this trash that's right here that was under the back seat. And I think the previous owner had this truck sitting outside. It wasn't in the garage. So I can tell that some of this trash and stuff is from like a mouse being in this truck, I guess before I got it. But I was just looking since I was getting ready to vacuum. Check that out. It's disgusting. It's the skeleton from a mouse, a baby rat, something. I'm trying to see, is it gonna focus? Maybe not. I done had this truck for years, never knew that was in here. But anyway, I just thought that was freaking crazy, man. Wanted y'all to see that. But right now, I'm gonna go get the vacuum some of this stuff up, take this out, and I'm probably gonna have to take this little jack and mount out as well. It's like a little spot for the jack to mount to. I'm pretty sure it's just some screws and that'll probably come out as well, because I don't think the sub box is gonna fit in there how it's supposed to with this sticking up like that. So once I vacuum this out a little bit, get this mouse skeleton out of here, and get that up and out and this out as well, I'll grab the sub box, just lay it in here, and I might set the amps up here on the floor too, just to see if this is even gonna work out how I want it to, or if it's gonna fit. Try to test fit it. and then I'll go from there. I'm probably gonna have to might have to take some of these panels off as well to help run some of the wiring how I want to run it for the amps and all of that. All right, let's get it going. Right now, I just laid the sub box in here to see if it was gonna fit, and it looks like it's gonna fit perfectly. And I laid my amps out, which they're gonna be mounted under my seat, and it looks like they're gonna fit perfectly as well. So what I'm thinking about running the wires, I'm probably gonna end up cutting just like a little hole right here, and I can pull all the wires that's coming from the back side of my amp like right through into here, and then we're gonna bring them on around and bring them up the side of the truck on up under the hood. And some of the wires are gonna run to where the new head unit's gonna be. Some gonna run under the hood, and I think that's it. The RCA cables, they're gonna come from here. I might bring them around this way or either around that way, and they're gonna come into this hole as well. And we also gonna have some RCA cables over there also, which the RCA cables are on the front part of the amps, and I'm planning to just bring them around. I'm gonna have a 2-channel, no, not a 2-channel. It's gonna be an RCA cable with 2 ends on it. That's gonna control the subs, and we're gonna bring them around that way to the head unit up front. And then the 4-channel amp right here is gonna have RCA cables with 4 heads on it, and it's gonna control my 4 speakers. And also, while I'm doing this, I just figured I already changed those speakers out like a long time ago, but I think I'm gonna put some heavier gauge wire on all 4 of the speakers and have those running back to this amp right here. So this amp is gonna control the 4 speakers, like the ones that are in the front doors and the ones back here, and this amp over here is gonna control the 2 subs. So I think it's gonna work out. I've just been sitting here for a while trying to see how I want to run all of these wires so I can get started. I've taken the front door panels off, so I'm thinking I'm gonna end up running the wires to all of those speakers. So the front door panels are off, and these panels have also taken them off so we can get to the speakers back here. And the sub box, it's almost a perfect fit, but it looks like it could slide left and right. So I'm probably gonna take just some kind of a little bracket, and I'm gonna screw it into the back of this metal back here, and then I'm gonna screw it to the top of this, just so it can't slide back and forth. I'll probably put one bracket right here, one bracket on that side over there, and then I'll probably mount one here as well somewhere, just some kind of bracket where I can use some self tappers in the metal, and then I'll probably use some sort of a wood screw to screw it into the bottom of the box and the top, and that should hold it in place. And when those subs get in there, that's gonna be heavy, so I don't foresee it moving once I have it fastened down and the subs in it. And then I'm probably gonna self tap these amps down as well. And I also put them this way so I can get under the seat and get to the controls, just in case I need to adjust something on the amp. I'll be able to get to it from under the under the seat. So let me sit here for a minute and think about this thing. I'm gonna start running the wires. Once I get those wires ran, I'll come back, tie the stuff down, and probably pull the dash apart so we can get the head unit out and get that dash out. So I'm gonna put LEDs in it as well. It's probably gonna be a process. It's not gonna happen in one day. It's gonna take me a little while to get it all together, but it's coming. Alright, so right now I'm gonna just show y'all me getting a couple of these wires together. These are gonna be the wires that are going to my regular speakers, like my door speakers and the speakers in the back of the truck. So I'm just basically upgrading the stock wires that were in there to these more heavy duty, what are these, 16 gauge wires. So I went ahead and pulled these off my speakers right here. These are the ones that like connect to the back of the speaker. See if I can get this for y'all. And they are negative and positive. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna cut these wires and we're gonna solder them together. And it's just gonna allow for more current to get to those speakers. I'm not sure if it's gonna make them louder, but I was told this is a good idea to do this. So since I'm upgrading everything else, we might as well do this too. It's not gonna take too much time. So let me see. Let me see which one of these is longer. Don't think it's gonna matter really, because I'm probably gonna have to cut them in the long run when it's all said and done. So alright, the longer one, this is gonna be the one that's gonna go on the rear driver's side speaker. And the wire that was with that one, with these white wires right here. So I just let this run while I'm doing this. Y'all can see what I'm doing. So the bigger one is the positive wire that goes to the positive spot on the speaker. And the smaller one, and it's really not gonna focus, is it? That's crazy. It's really not gonna focus. Come on, bruh. But anyway, the bigger one is the positive and the smaller one is the negative. So the way I'm gonna remember this to do the whole system, since my cable that I'm using, a wire, is black and blue, and the negative has this black line, I'm gonna just put the negative with the black and the positive with the blue. Should be able to keep track of it that way. So I'm just basically gonna split these wires right here. That's how we're gonna start. Get it opened up a little bit. Then you're gonna wanna cut it just a little bit. Get the wire exposed. I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm just running the wire along the blade on this knife. See how that wire is getting exposed? Like that right there. I don't know why this thing won't focus. But anyway, we got that wire exposed. Let me work on the other one. Trying to do about the same general spot. Alright, so we got those two free now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the same thing to our wires that attach to the speakers. And then we are gonna twist those together and solder them together. Alright, so we're just basically doing the same exact thing that we did on the other wires. One, two. So let me see, the bigger one, I said we were gonna put on the positive and we're gonna make the blue positive. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take these two wires, just twist them together right here, and then I'm gonna solder them. That way they can't come loose. And I'll probably put a piece of this heat shrink on there as well. You see, I thought I had some scissors to try to cut this in half. And I don't see scissors. I might can use this for now. Man, I thought I had a pair of scissors back here. I'm tripping. Anyway, this should do it. This should do it. This should do the job. And it looks about halfway. So you're just gonna take this, slide it on there. Like I said, blue is gonna be our positive. So we take the bigger wire, we gonna twist them together. See. All right, I got the two wires together right there. We're gonna take this solder wire. Solder wire, I'm calling it solder wire. We'll take a solder iron. I'm gonna let that thing heat up. I don't even know if y'all, all right, y'all can see it. So now that thing heating up, you can solder these together. And then you don't have to do this, but my dad, he fixed a lot of TVs and stuff like that, and I always remember him telling me to solder everything, because that way it can't pull apart. Like, these wires are stuck together. It can be on there forever, unless you come and cut them later. Yeah, I don't foresee that coming off. And if you want to, you could take some black tape and wrap around that. Matter of fact, I might do that just to be safe. And, like I was saying, you don't have to do any of this, but I think it's a good idea. It just makes it to where you won't run into problems later with these wires coming to loose or anything like that. Especially when you got subs and all that stuff going and it's beating. If you got these things just soldered down, I mean, it's like no way they will ever come loose. So I'm just putting some black tape around it, just to make sure it can't come loose even more. And now we got that on there, I'm gonna slide that heat shrink up on there. I'm gonna take this lighter. And shrink it on there. You see how it's getting tight around the spot we just connected, soldered together, taped up. Oh man, really, bro? I gotta go get me another lighter. This one running out of juice. Oh, there we go. And I mean, this is like completely overkill, but this is how I do it. Make sure you don't run into any problems later. So let me get started on the negative cable, negative wire. Alright, trying to make sure y'all can see this. I know it's not zoomed all the way in, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. And I mean, like I said 100 times, man, you don't have to do all of this. But I just think this is the safer way to do it, the way you won't run into any headaches or problems later. Because once this is done, it is done. Unless it's like literally cut out of there. So that is the wiring for one speaker basically done. Got 3 more to go, so I ain't gonna show y'all all of that. You see what I did? we got that ready to go. It's gonna be way more current going to our speaker, which is not like I have any ridiculous speakers in my truck, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna allow for that amp to put some more juice to them speakers, probably make them sound a little better than they do now. So that one's done. About to start working on the next one. And then I'm gonna go run the wires for those 2 back speakers. Then I will look about running the wires for the 2 front speakers. Those wires are gonna have to be way longer. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these back ones done, and then I can put the panel and stuff for the trim. I can go ahead and start sticking some of that back together for the back part. Start working on the next one. Alright, so right now, I've got the 16 gauge speaker wire ran to my front door speakers, and I've got it ran to the speakers in the back. So I don't have all of the wiring to finish this job at the moment. So right now we're gonna work on something else until the rest of the wiring gets here. I ordered some more, I think I ordered some 8 gauge wires. I ordered some more 0 gauge. I just ordered some more installation equipment, so once all that gets here, we'll be ready to roll. But right now we're gonna go ahead and take this head unit out, because I have a brand new one. So I'm gonna pull this, and then I'm gonna check the wiring behind this, because I'm probably gonna have to solder some more wires for the new head unit. And we'll possibly pull some more wires that's gonna go to the amp. Some of the RCA cables, I may go ahead and pull some of them, pull them from where the amps are in the back, and pull them out the dash, so that when I get ready to put the new head unit in, we'll be ready to go. But I'm also gonna pull this dashboard out. I have 2 or 3 bulbs that's blown in the back here. So when it's nighttime and I'm driving, like this whole side of the dash, it doesn't even light up. So I'll grab my phone and get like a little close up of it before I take it out. But I just wanted to let y'all know what I had going on. So I can turn it on, but it's kind of bright in here, so you probably can't see it. But the gauges that are over here are LEDs, and the ones that are right here are not. These are like the normal incandescent bulbs, or whatever you call them. But the ones on this side of the dash are completely out. So I have some white LEDs to put back here, and it's probably gonna change the entire way that looks. And that's something we can work on now. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull this head unit, work on pulling this piece of the dash off, so I can take this piece out and start putting those LEDs behind it. Let's get it going. So now we are to the point we can start taking the dasher loose. And I believe it's just 4 bolts, it looks like. 4 7mm bolts. There we have it. The dash is out. So you see it's got a ton of different kind of little bulbs on the back of it. I'm gonna start taking those out one by one. believe some of these are size like 94, I believe. But then some of the other ones are, I can't remember, I have to check. I'll put them on here when I check. But it might be like a 72 or something like that. But y'all see it, be out the dash shot. So once I change these bulbs to the LEDs, it's gonna look like 1,000 times better. And there's a ladybug in this dash. It's been in here the whole time I had it. I'm gonna see if I can't get it out of there. But about to start changing these bulbs out. It's looking like we got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the big ones, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of the smaller ones. I think that's what I just counted. So anyway, we're about to start swapping these out.